Hi guys, today I'm going to go through how to write a persuasive speech. This is a direct message to an audience designed to influence or change their mind in some way. Speeches are written in the first person point of view. This makes it personal rather than the detached style of an article. The speech should have some use of the word I and some reference to your personal and heartfelt experiences. It's about connecting with the audience. Setting the tone straight away shows the audience or examiner that you've made a conscious choice on the effect you want your speech to have. Choose an angry tone to inspire a passionate desire to change things. For example, some speeches change tone. They can be funny at the start, but then have some serious points, where others like to stay consistent. But it's up to you which one you want to do. I'd recommend really experimenting with your tone choice. Depending on your level and style of writing, you may need to think about incorporating some language techniques. Speeches such as Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech uses techniques to present powerful and moving ideas. Here are a few that you might consider that I'll explain in more detail. Now we're going to move on to looking at direct address. Now this communicates to everyone, as well as talking to the individual by using words like we, us, and ours. The audience feel like they're being spoken directly to. So if you said something like, we have the power to change the world, you're talking to the individual, but then also to everybody else included there. Next, we have using powerful adjectives. So adjectives is just another word for describing words. What I mean by including this is that you want to avoid the mundane, everyday words you would use. I'm really terrible for it myself. Keep using the word nice. But if you want to be persuasive and effective in your writing, every now and then try and throw in a more of a powerful adjective, like this example. The food served in the canteen is disgusting and terrible. So here we've got really two strong, powerful adjectives to kind of really create that effect. If you just said the food was bad, it loses that effect there. The next technique we're going to look at is the rule of three. So this is when we use three describing words together to emphasize the effect that we're trying to create. And emphasize just means to make it even more stronger. So we've got this example here. The food was cold, disgusting, and unappealing. So I could have just said the food was cold. But what I wanted to do is really increase the feeling of disappointment that I got from the meal. And I've used those three adjectives: cold, disgusting, and unappealing. And you'll feel that that's a little bit more effective. And that's a really good technique to get your point across. Next, we have emotive language. So this is all about feelings. So you could either use words that just talk about feelings like angry, sad, or you could talk about things that are going to make people feel something, like a particular emotional moment that they're going to relate to, and it's going to make them feel a certain way. Just as important as the words that you use and the techniques you use is the structure. So to really think about how you're going to start and how you're going to end your argument is really, really important. Some people start by introducing a point, and then the later paragraphs then develop further into these individual elements of your argument. Sometimes we have something called a cyclical structure, where they make a point at the beginning and then they use repetition right at the end of as the last line. And it kind of brings the thing full circle. That's why we call it cyclical, like a cycle. Okay, last but not least, it's really important to grab the audience's attention. Try and say something meaningful that will have quite a large impact on them. So you can see my statement here: schools are failing our children. So that one statement, I would then go and try and build upon that. Or you could alternatively use statistics. In most English exams, you don't need to actually memorize statistics. We're allowed to make them up for creative effect. You could say things like 97% of people actually do better in school if they have a tutor. Okay, and I've just pulled those statistics right out of the air just to prove my point. Okay, so just say something meaningful that will grab someone's attention. Okay, so we're just going to have a look at two examples and see which one you think is better. So we've got A, we are facing a crisis. Millions of people are at risk of this disgusting, cruel, and inhumane treatment. And then B, there is a crisis which will affect many people. I believe this needs to stop. How would you feel? So just take a moment to have a think for yourselves and see which one you think is better. Okay, so looking at the two answers, personally, I prefer A. And it's because we start off with the direct address. We are facing a crisis. The use of that word "we" there makes everyone feel involved. And next, we've got millions of people. So that use of the number there gives us a sense of how many people are affected, and it also sounds a little bit more scientific, even though I probably prefer to give an exact number. Next, we've got the disgusting, cruel, and inhumane treatment. And that's rule of three, where we're really emphasizing the negative effects of this. Okay, so then we're looking at B. This is a crisis which will affect many people. It's quite vague. I believe this needs to stop. So good use of first person. So it's quite personal, which is quite nice. Next, we've got how would you feel? The rhetorical question, which is good because it makes the audience pause and think about what it'd be like to be in this situation. So it's a good answer, but myself, I would prefer answer A. Okay, finally, guys, if you did get this far and watch all the way to the end, thank you for doing so. And please like and subscribe for more videos and just leave a comment below for any suggestions that you might have. Once again, guys, thanks for watching.